Happy, what is it? Happy Sunday
Sunday.
afternoon. Happy Sunday afternoon, and welcome to Women on Words, the podcast where we talk life, love, and literature. Hello, Michelle and Jackie.
Hi,
Hello.
Sierra.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, these are my partners, and the third Sunday of the month we always have book chat. So we are here today to talk about a holiday book. And we pulled up and we read A Story and Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. We actually read Theodora Taylor's This Christmas. So that's what we're going to be talking about, even though this is a Christmas anthology. I don't think I'm holding it right, y'all, but this is a Christmas
Yeah.
anthology featuring a ton of authors, and all the stories are connected. So if you like short stories that are all connected in the same story world, Meet Me Under the Mistletoe is the anthology that you want to read this Christmas holiday. Do you all agree?
Agree.
Yes. Yes.
Agree. So,
Agreed.
yes, same story world, like a whole bunch of different authors. And guess what? It's free, y'all. So y'all go ahead and download Meet Me Under the Mistletoe and be sure to read Theodore Taylor's This Christmas. Okay, ladies. So where should we start? Do y'all want me to open it up?
All right. Go
Open it
go
up.
ahead. I'm
Okay,
getting
okay,
my
I'll open it
notes.
up. So Theodore's story this Christmas is a really unique spin on a Christmas tale because
Mm-hmm.
it opens with our hero, and his name is Josh, and Josh is on deployment, so he's a military man. So you know he's my catnip already, right? He already under my Christmas tree with a bow on it because Mr. Awesome is a military man.
Okay, so
Mhm.
Sierra, I have to ask you, did you notice this story started like that Christmas movie I was making you watch earlier this week?
I did.
I
So
was making her watch a Christmas movie called the Christmas Card,
yes.
and she was throwing all kinds of
Oh.
shade at me over it. But I was
Yes.
like, wait a minute,
So
Theodora saw that movie too.
yes. So Michelle has a knack for picking the craziest
Don't.
Christmas movies that I usually need an aspirin to get through. But anyway, so this story opens with Josh, our military hero. He's on deployment, he's in theater,
Hmm.
and he's kind of in a low spot.
He's
And
intense.
his bunkmate, okay, says it's mail call, and he has a letter, and his bunkmate has a knack for identifying letters that are probably from a lady, and he's like, "Ooh, like this one smells like it's from a lady," and Josh isn't expecting anything, and it's a letter from his secret admirer who he does not know, and instantly he is attracted to whoever this woman is on the other side of this card, who says, "I've loved you forever. Like I met you before you were a big time military hero, before all the flash and the fanfare, and I still pretty much love you like I did way back then."
And
What y'all
my
think of that
first thought
opening?
was, run,
Yes.
brother, run. Run
Really?
now. Run fast.
No.
I do not believe in secret admirers. I don't believe in multi-year secret admirers. I do not believe in dropping notes on somebody talking about I loved you and we met once. Those are red flags for me. Red flag. Red flag. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
let
good.
Theodora
Well,
have it for this book,
I
but on
loved it.
any other date, this a red flag.
oh, okay. Jackie?
Well, I was instantly excited about
Me
this
too.
secret admirer. I guess because she's awkward
Yeah.
and her way of communicating is via words because
Yes.
she's kind of shy in public and not
And
always
she
sure
says
the
that.
word. Yes. So
Hmm.
I love that. I love that, that was her way of expressing her love for him, especially since he's so intense in the
He
beginning. Like
is.
his reactions, he is like on guard,
Ice
you know?
cold.
He is.
So he needed something to kind of warm him up a little bit. And that
And
So
card
that
did.
did. It did
yes,
do that
I
from
agree with
jump.
you, Jackie. So our hero Josh, he is very much an alpha male, but I'll let you know this, listeners. His nickname is Ice Block.
Do
Okay,
not break into Josh's house.
okay, Ice
Mhm.
Block.
Do
This is
not
the
break into
man
Josh's house.
who
Don't sneak
has,
up on him.
yeah, he has issues showing emotion. And I felt like the way Theodora introduced this heroine was a way that, like, kind of snuck in under Josh's guard. Like, there was
Mhm.
no way for him to really reject her or
Mm-mm.
be on guard because it came in a not just a letter, but a Christmas card.
And a
Mm-hmm.
A
handwritten letter at
Christmas,
that too. Yes. The
yes,
note was handwritten. That just goes to show how personal it
yes,
was to her that
yes,
she hand wrote it because nowadays everybody type everything out, but
that is
she
true.
hand wrote it. And
Yes.
he recognized that too.
Yes, and Martha says, "Hi, ladies." Oh,
Hi,
and I forgot to
Martha.
say this. So, if
Hi.
you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or on the what is it, Mandy's page, go over to Women on Words on Facebook, like us, follow us, and I can actually see your comments when you type on the Women on Words page. So, we're ready for your questions. But what I also loved about this heroine is in some ways, right when we meet her, she puts herself out there. She says, I'm shy.
Mhm.
I've felt this way about you. And she doesn't. Now, keep in mind, he's a military man. That means he getting letters from women all around the world saying what I want you to do to me. And this is not that kind of
We've had this conversation about military men and the women who go after them.
right. So
Yeah.
this is not one of those letters, ladies. This is a type of letter where she says, I wish you, like, I have this little place and I wish you could see it and be there and enjoy a nice cup of cocoa and just have a quiet place.
Mhm.
And he's so taken aback that this is a letter that someone is actually giving something to him.
True.
Like he
Mhm.
starts to envision it. Like that didn't hit you, like Michelle. You still look worried. Like you have missed
She still
something.
got
So
that red flag flying.
Hold on. I think the audience needs to understand something.
okay.
12 years. Let
Okay.
me tell you what 12 years is. 12 years is getting a child from birth to the seventh grade. 12 years? 12 years
Why she gotta
is
go there?
I
three,
know.
three presidential cycles. 12 years is two, two Senate cycles. 12 years is six cycles in the House of Representatives, six terms.
Okay, so we know which one of us is good at math. Go on,
I know.
Michelle.
No, but it's just okay. So you're a secret admirer for a year, maybe
Okay.
two, but 12 years, you're still writing this man a card every year and signing it secret admirer. Come on, we're adults here, and we've passed over the point of this is so cute to this is real creepy. Now I'm gonna let Theodora have it because I love Theodora and I love her writing, and
Yeah.
because of her, I love Nisha. But if I was Nisha's friend, I'd be like, girl, poop or get off the pot. Tell that man who you are.
And see, I see it differently because there
12
are so
years.
many women that crush on men like their whole lives.
Mhm.
A few of them on this page right now, I'm not saying any names, but like
But they would know.
they crush on then we crush on stars. And I'll tell you this, Josh is from a prominent family.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a political background and they
Mm-hmm.
have some political aspirations for him,
Mm-hmm.
whether he wants them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So we're gonna speak on Josh's family too. We're gonna
I guess
speak
the
on that.
hopeless romantic in me
Yeah,
liked the 12 years. I did. I
me
guess,
too.
yeah.
And it's not
I
like
thought it was
she was
sweet.
bothering him all the time.
No, it was one card a year.
One
Around Christmas
card.
time. Yes, one Christmas card.
I done
Oh.
called my secretary and told her that if she see that card from my secret admirer, to not put it in the rest of the batch. Put that card away.
Okay, Michelle. All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll just say this. I actually like that the heroine was a secret admirer. Now, I
Mhm.
don't know if I could have held out for 12 years. And it was an interesting time frame that Theodora chose because I agree, like a decade of crushing on this person. And she's not just crushing on him, like she's actually tracking his progress as he matures, as he moves
None of
off.
this is alarming to you. None of this is alarming.
If she was showing up at his doorstep and like tying her panties in
Mhm.
a bow and putting them in the
Exactly.
envelope, yes. But she didn't do none of that.
No.
She didn't do
She
any of that.
always wished him well
She
and
did.
always told him to have a cup of hot chocolate, like with his family, and every letter ended with that hot chocolate.
Maybe it's because I don't like hot chocolate. I don't know.
Oh, she just had some yesterday. Oh, you're
But
wrong for
he
that,
looked
Michelle.
forward to those letters too, and I think for him that was his light, his sense of
Yes.
joy in all of his duty that was pressed upon him, by his family. So he looked forward
Yes.
to
Yes.
that one Christmas card a year. That one Christmas card brought him joy.
Yes. And it was something that was all his. So let's talk about the family. So Josh is from a prominent family. And I know a lot of us, we can relate to family pressure. Like you have dreams and aspirations for yourself, and your family may have another plan for you. So, how did you all feel? Like, what was your reaction when the plan shifted from one sibling to the next? And it happened to be our hero. There was a plan for him, and then the sibling they had picked, that everybody thought would move along the political spectrum, and then it shifted to Josh. What did y'all think about that and Josh's reaction?
Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts about that.
Okay.
Partially because I've followed the political cycles because I worked in politics for 20
Yes.
years, and you see this. You see where families are coming up. And I remember there was a story about a certain family, where the plan was both sons would run for governor in different states, and whichever one won would be the one to run for president. And that happened, and the
Yes.
one that won first became president.
Yeah.
And I know of another story where there was a family plan for a son who the plan was for him to go serve the military, serve in not only serve in theater, but serve in like local office as a lawyer and then run. And so I thought it was interesting that the son that they had the plans for was the younger son. So I was kind of surprised in the story when we found
Yes.
out that oh gosh, what was the other brother's name? Please forgive me.
Sawyer.
Sawyer.
Sawyer. When we found out that Sawyer was the younger brother, because I'm like, Sawyer is a shit. Excuse my language on this Sunday. But when we meet Sawyer on the page, he's a little shit that needed to have his block knocked off. And I'm like, that's the one the family is making their plans for. So it was
Okay.
very interesting to have like this really awesome son. In Josh, and then to have the younger brother who's a complete problem child be the one that daddy has his hopes on, where I felt that, the true man was Josh. Josh should have been daddy's choice from jump. And I kind of felt, and it becomes a part of the story, we'll talk about it. I kind of felt as though part of Josh's reluctance later on to take on that role comes from the fact that it wasn't a role that was originally given to him. And so it was never a role where he was really given the opportunity to say, look at what you could do if you do this. And so I had feelings about his choices too. But that's what I have to say
Hmm.
about that.
So I personally did not want to harm Sawyer. I'm just going to put that out there. I was
I did. He was a
okay.
shit on day page one.
Okay.
I got
I
strong feelings about.
personally was
I don't
not
like
going to.
bullies. I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies, and I don't like bullies who prey on young women who don't feel confident in themselves. And Sawyer did that, and I did not like him.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I'm
let me
sorry.
just say
This
she's
sounds
talking
personal,
about
but
a
it is.
scene where they were. It came later in the book,
100.
but it was later in the book, and this is when they were teenagers.
Yes.
When they were teenagers, and he
The
was
moment that she pined for 12 years, they got her writing secret letters for 12 years.
yes. So I will say I thought it was interesting that the father had designated what both sons would do.
Mhm.
And that for the most part, they were following the father's instructions. I thought that was really interesting. I don't know
I wasn't surprised.
how often that happens in non-prominent families. Prominent families, I understand because you have this positioning that you
Mhm,
want to keep the family in, through the years. But I thought it was interesting that after Josh came back from theater,
mhm,
um, I mean, he is a war hero, and
mhm.
no one is addressing what he probably needs after everything he's seen. And I was disappointed in that, like in the family for like just like punching the ticket. Like, okay, we got a war hero, we got someone who wore the uniform, but not really acknowledging what wearing that uniform and bearing arms, the impact that it has on a person. And
Mhm.
that really it messed with me a little bit. I had a hard time like embracing Josh's family.
Mm.
Yeah, I completely agree. I did not like his father at all, especially
Uh-huh.
at the dinner table. Just um, the way he spoke to them. Now these are
Mhm.
grown men, and but you're speaking to them like they're children.
Mhm.
Asking him why hasn't he gotten married yet, or found someone, and things like that. I thought it was unfair, excuse me,
Mhm.
of the admiral, because that's what they called him, his children
Mhm.
too, which I
Okay, that
thought
made
was
me giggle
crazy that they didn't
so
call him
much.
their father dad. They called him the admiral.
Yes, of which he was not.
But I thought that it was just so insensitive of him to just plan out his children's life, and then he only focused on Josh. I guess after Sawyer's indiscretions, which
Right.
they don't Theodore doesn't go into detail about, but Josh has a wife and children. But no, not Josh.
Sawyer does.
Sawyer
Sawyer.
Yeah.
has a wife and children, but the dad is still focused on Josh. You need to do this. Why haven't you done this? And then the stepmother cleaning his house and
Former
and
housekeeper turned stepmother.
yes,
Let's be clear.
I
Daddy
laughed at
is
that part.
orchestrating who you're supposed to marry, but he's married to the former
Exactly.
housekeeper
That's
who
what
is
I'm
searching
saying.
their rooms, who is
Yes.
searching their rooms and reading their mail. That was
Yes.
Went to his
So
everything.
Yeah, I had to do
I
a
am the
actually
same
I had to
way.
do a family chart just to kind of keep up with the different family lines, because I
Yes.
got the first time, because I read it 3 times, because that's how much I liked it. The first time I got kind of confused about, Nisha's family
Yeah, because
line, and
Sawyer's
then
married to Nisha's
the
sister. And I'm like,
sister,
wait, which
e-
sister?
exactly,
Explain,
because she has two
explain.
half sisters. But
Yes.
but back to the dad, yeah. I thought it was just really insensitive of him to be just have that much focus on
Uh-huh.
Josh, put that much pressure on him.
Okay, I
Yes.
feel the need to make to defend some of the story. I know we all mad that they call the father by his title, and I will say there's a friend in my life that I also call by their retired title, but it is out of loving respect.
Yes,
for the
yes,
work that that person has done to attain that level. And I don't call it as a, oh, you have to. I call it out of, respect for the fact that it took a lot of hard work to get there. And also,
yeah.
working in politics, they'll tell you if someone's ever president, they be are Mr. President or Mrs. President forever. They
Right.
are a
And I can
senator or
understand that.
congressman forever.
But these are his sons and they're at the dinner table. They're basically at their family home. And so Martha made a point. She says the fact that they call him Admiral instead of Dad speaks volumes. I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I agree. And I think the other thing I want to transition over to the heroine because we meet her and Tanisha has a very complex family structure.
I'm still
Okay.
confused.
Yeah, she has a very complex family structure. Here is we have Josh, who has his father in his family, who is all about you need to be about the family business, which is the political ladder.
Hmm.
Okay. And the military is just a means for that. It really is. It's just a means to the family's end. And then you have Tanisha, who's not raised by either parent, like by her mom or her or her dad.
Or her
And
adoptive
so,
mom.
And none of them are good parents. None.
Or her
yes,
adoptive mom, because her adoptive mom didn't raise her either.
yes. So
Yeah, they
she's
gave her
like,
away to the aunt who became the stepmom. Well, I mean, the aunt who became like a surrogate mother. So she got
yes,
these half sisters that I'm assuming one of them is married to Sawyer. I was so confused about like, wait, what?
yes. So
Okay.
it's a lot of family dynamics going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think is it Asia, Aisha? Asia.
Now you're
Asia
trying to
said the
confuse
same
me
thing.
more.
She was like, she read it and she was also like beside herself with the stepmom reading the mail. You know, if you trust somebody in your house
Yes.
and their family and they're going through your nightstand, not just going through your nightstand like, oh, look what's in here. They're reading it and they're reporting back. I don't think I would ever be okay with stepmama again, ever.
Mm-mm.
No. If
So
you held your diary open on the bed pillow in the guest bedroom you put me to sleep in, I'm not going to read it
yeah,
because your privacy is your privacy. I
yeah,
was very much taken aback by that stepmother move. I was like, that's the stepmother move that would have me not coming home for Christmas to visit you ever.
right.
But
It was. And then we meet Tanisha's family, and we're like, whoa, okay,
Mhm.
you have a lot going on here. And I can understand when you talk about a young woman who's shy,
Hmm.
introverted, a lover of words, like all of us are here on the
Mhm.
page, not quite knowing where she
And
fits.
girl, she have one of my dream jobs.
Yes, and she has a wonderful job. She's basically a political
I've
speechwriter.
always wanted to be a political speechwriter.
She's a political speechwriter, and she's so good at her job. She knows she can get people elected. She got receipts, y'all. So
Mhm.
she's very competent, but she is very shy, and I can see her very clearly. You know, a woman who is very competent when it comes to her job, but socially just not finding her place in the world because she hasn't even found her place in her own family.
Mhm.
Is
Like
there
I
a place
could,
for her in her family? It
yes,
felt like
I
there
could
wasn't even
really,
one.
I could relate to her struggle. Like I was like, I could see that. Like I could see her so clearly. And I could see how she could be a woman who would write a prominent man like Josh and say, I really like you because you did something that showed me that you
Mhm.
saw me and valued me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what did y'all think about her when she physically appeared on the page separate from these years of Christmas cards that she's been sending, basically her own hero.
I was
Jackie.
like, Theodora, are you describing me? Are
Yeah.
you talking about me? Because I am that awkward person who I'm more comfortable writing my words than speaking my words in public.
Mhm.
So I I liked her right away. I did.
I did
I liked
too.
her and I felt for her. especially when her adoptive mom started speaking in this thespian type this
You
thespian
didn't.
type of way to her, and I'm like, who is this woman? Like, who
Yes.
is she? And
Yes.
what is she about? She's supposed to be this best-selling author, but this is how she relates to her adoptive child.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Like, okay, so keep in mind, y'all, the book is called This Christmas. Now, when our kids and loved ones come home for Christmas and they go, Mom, it's so great to see you. I mean, you don't expect them to say, Dear, it's, potato, not potato, and start correcting your grammar and criticizing you and saying, Oh, you came home from your little job where you write your little tiny speeches. Now, I told y'all she got receipts and she get people elected, but this is the way she's viewed in the family. So, Michelle, I know you got something to say. I know you do.
You know I do.
Yes.
So I have so many thoughts about this. Number one, like you said, this woman has receipts. She's telling you, I can get you elected. I get
Yeah.
people elected. I write the speech that makes people. What is it? She had, I think it was a black Texan woman with a Russian husband that she got elected. And I'm like,
Yeah, she
okay,
good.
girl, all right,
Mhm.
you win. I believe
Yes.
you. But a woman who's carrying receipts like that, writing secret letters, bothers me. She's
Okay.
playing small, small, small ball.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll be the first to tell you, because I'm that person. I will tell you, I'm a social introvert. You put me in a social situation, I'm good, but you give me a way to get out, I'm gone. But I'll be the first one to tell you that I was the girl in high school who had a huge crush on a guy who was a year younger than me when I was a senior. And you remember how horrible that was. And I wrote him a note, and I
Uh-huh.
did. It was kind of like it was sort of a secret admirer note, but I signed it and I let him know that I liked him. I mean, as shy as I am, I don't necessarily believe that you should miss an opportunity. It did not work out for the best. In fact, I've written stories about how badly it worked out. But
I want to read that.
to this day, a certain young man that I went to high school with probably still tells people the story about there was this girl that wrote me this letter and you know that told me that she really liked me and she introduced herself and I, I don't see the 12-year life is so okay, maybe it's because we're adults, life is so it a moment passes so quickly. The opportunity to make a difference or to have something happen can happen in a moment.
That
Like
is true.
you could it's so crazy. I think there's a commercial where the guy meets the girl and he's trying to decide if he should ask her out, and the other guy walks up and they're showing that it's like she married to the other guy having babies. And he's still sitting there trying to figure out how he gonna tell her he likes her. Like life moves so fast. A woman who was that prominent at that time, by the time she's become that person, to still be writing secret notes and talking about how, oh, this one's gonna be my last one. And I was thinking, good girl, because I'm tired of you.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Oh
Okay.
my goodness. I
Michelle,
I
you
am
know,
okay, just
you
for the
might
sake
be
of
able
the point, let me just say I am not married, but I have never left opportunity on the table. That's all I'm
yeah.
gonna say.
So, like I said, I don't think it could be me. Because I'm the woman who, called my husband and, well, my then like I'm like, I have interest and I'm like, I like you. Do you think you can date me? And when he said yes, I was like, I'm coming over. So we can talk about this. So that's me. But and I got the guy. So and we're still together.
I feel
But that's me.
attacked.
So I don't think it could be me, but for this character, like I think even just putting herself out there after, in some ways, just being rejected so many times, I felt like
Mhm.
this was kind of a safe zone, and so the
Mhm.
story takes a pivot, And at the 12th year, because she sends him a Christmas card every year, she sends a Christmas card and says, you know what? It's been 12 years and I think I need to move on. And guess what? Our hero is not a little bit mad. He pissed off, y'all. He punching walls up in the Capitol building. I
Because
love
it took
that.
12 years to reach out to him. He
I
said,
love
this
that
man's been
scene.
holding me on a string for 12
Michelle a hater.
years.
I love that scene. I love that scene. I love that scene. He was like, clear my
Mhm.
schedule, cancel all my appointments. This girl tripping. I don't even know her name, but she tripping and she not dumping me. What did y'all
He
think?
like red
He should have
flags.
felt like he had
I
been dumped.
laughed. I well, first I laughed because I'm like, okay, you haven't met her, but it's clear that you have feelings for her. You
Mm-hmm.
do. And
Mm-hmm.
that reaction from Ice Block just really, I laughed because that was so out of character for him. He
Thank
lost
you.
control and he's always in control. He
Mm-hmm.
lost control. And I laughed. I'm like, good for you. I'm glad.
I
I'm
was
glad you
so
were able to
surprised.
just feel something
Yes.
other than obligation.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's how I felt. I'm like, oh my God, she hit him where it hurts because he is he is acting plumb crazy. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, okay, Michelle.
Y'all, let me just put this out there. Never been okay. I admit I'm the person that's gonna tell you I have a crush on you, and I was like this in in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna say that that's me. I understand. Oh, I have this crush, and I really like this guy, and I mean, and I'm gonna tell him, but I'm not gonna tell him. And I understand that when you are maybe 18, hell, I might give you 19. But by the time you start drinking, you have to have that night where you drink enough that you're gonna be brave.
Your
Like
liquid
that one
courage.
night where you're like, you have to that sip more of wine than you would have the night before to be like, what am I doing? Not just letting him know. And for him to be like all upset after he didn't know, he never made any effort to find out who she was. Like 12 years later, he's like, oh, this area code matches. And I'm thinking, dude, I would have said, "Oh, look, that area code matches my hometown." And you know what I would have done? I'd have found the person in that hometown that was carrying those red envelopes and be like, "Who you sold these to?" I mean, he did no work, and then he's hitting the wall and hurting his hand and potentially damaging himself. I have questions. I have so many questions. But these two, in that moment, I'm thinking they deserve each other. This is like crazy. The crazy is strong. These two like red flags.
Oh my gosh. Somebody, oh my goodness. When they say acting a fool.
She
Okay,
in
y'all.
love.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
goodness.
Martha. Martha said the drunk call. Thank you,
Oh,
Martha. Right. Like at some point in your life, you have that day where you're like, I'm just going to be brave today. I'm going to walk up to him and I'll be like, I really like you. And it might happen to be the day that you wear that lower cut top or that shorter skirt, but it's that day that you find your bravery and you say, I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to him.
but okay. All right. But the time that she was brave when it came
Mhm.
to meeting the guy, look what happened. It was a
She was
woman that was
a
helping a guy to
teenager.
clown her and
Teenager.
I mean, and I'm gonna tell you something. So there's a she has a nemesis in the book, y'all,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's another girl,
of course. Mean
and
girls. Mean girls. I wrote that down as
yeah,
my trope.
and
Mean girls.
Mhm.
and so Shelby was about to get hit with that Yuletide log. I'm just telling you, her you talking about beating on Sawyer? I say beat on Shelby, but
Mhm.
we find out that the hero he not okay that she is calling off our annual Christmas cards because this is something that belongs to him, and guess what, it makes him brave. That's what I like about what Theodora did with this book. Her breaking it off made him brave enough to break out of this box that his family
Mhm.
has put him in. Like, she's like, what do you mean? Like, this is mine. Like, she is mine. I don't know who she is, but I know this letter is just for me. And he gets one, and she's like, deuces. And
I'm gonna stop you right there because you're wrong.
okay, all right,
You're wrong, and I'm
I'm
gonna tell
wrong.
you why you're
All
wrong.
right.
'Cause she sent him the letter saying this is gonna be my last Christmas card, and he punched the wall and bloodied his hand or whatever, had to cancel all his appointments, and he didn't even notice that they had to wrap his hand up. And then let me tell you, viewers, let me tell you what this man does because more red flags. She said it helped him make a decision about what he really wanted in his life. And you know what that fool did? He showed up at a speechwriter's um cabin and said, I need you to write a speech to help me win an election that he supposedly doesn't really want to run in. Come on now, you're giving him more points than he deserves.
Jackie, help me out.
Duty. That's duty. He feels this sense of duty to his family
So
to
a decision
follow
was
out
not made.
his father's dream. What did he keep? He kept saying the good soldier. One time he said good dog. So he
Yeah.
had this sense of duty that he could not that you really expect from a military person,
Oh yeah.
to follow through with the mission no matter what, correct? So, and that's
Mhm.
exactly what he was doing. He was
Yes.
following through. The admiral, because I can't call him
Yes,
his dad. The admiral set a plan, and the brother deviated from the plan. And as the older
he
brother,
did.
he stepped up into the role to follow through with the plan. So, of course, he needed the speechwriter's help to flip the people from the other side of the aisle. And he went to the best, did he not?
Thank you, Jackie. Bring the heat, girl.
All right. He went to the
So he shows up at
best.
the
He
cabin.
was right. That's right.
Hmm.
He went to the yeah. He wasn't thinking that one all the way through. Who showed up right
Well,
before a snowstorm at a cabin? But you know, y'all.
he did some
But it wasn't
investigation.
supposed to snow.
He had to find her, Michelle. He did have to find her. He did some investigation. He asked some questions. It's not like he was like, oh, let me just go find that speechwriter girl everybody talking about.
He said, "You got that
The
Russian lady
admiral
elected. I'm
picked
gonna help
her.
you."
Actually, if you think about it, he said
He did
him and
mention
his
that.
the admiral, yeah,
Yes.
talked about her, and then his
Yes.
sister-in-law said, "Hey, I know her. This is how
Yes.
you find her."
What you did not hear is him say, "I look for that girl that sent me that Christmas card."
But anyway, so these two, so our heroine ends up at her adoptive mom's cabin. This is like her writing getaway. And our heroine has always loved this place. And it's a cabin, y'all, on the New Hampshire side of the river. So she literally has to row over there with all of her supplies.
Row over. It's a one-room cabin.
Yes,
Mhm.
that
There was
is
an
true.
option for a luxury cabin on the other side of the river, but old girl who liked to send secret admirer letters for 12 years chose the one-room cabin.
She wanted the isolation.
Red
I can
flags, y'all.
I can
Red
completely
flags.
understand that.
I would
Uh,
have taken a
That's why
luxury
I wish
cabin.
I
I'm
had a
sorry.
she shed, just somewhere
exactly.
quiet
Thank
You
where
have a
you.
you
choice
could
between
close
a
the
she
door and
shed.
be on your own.
So you have a choice between a she shed on one side of the river and a luxury condo she shed on the other side. You're like, I'm gonna roll my arms tired to the one room
I'm gonna
condo.
row,
One
and
room.
I would probably be rowing in a circle, but I'm going to row until I figure out if I have to get out, hold the canoe with one hand and swim across with the other. Yes, I would want my isolation. Yes,
I'm with
yes.
you.
No, but she
Yes.
had isolation on both sides. But she chose, you see, and this is the way I talk about this character plays small ball.
Okay. I disagree. I felt like and I'm gonna
Oh,
drop the link,
yeah.
y'all. I'm gonna drop the link for the book in the chat in case you want to get the whole anthology. But what I felt like this was a part of her letting go because in the letters, in the Christmas cards, she would always talk about the cabin and this hot
Mhm.
chocolate. And so her letting go of Josh, she went to the cabin, mama's cabin, and she's all prepared. And I think she's like closing the door on this chapter of her life.
That
Like
she
she's
never
made
opened.
the decision that it's time to move on. Michelle, you're gonna get a lump of coal. Okay. Lump of coal. But she's letting go. And this is a physical letting go of this place where she wanted to bring him, to be with him. And then guess what? He shows up, like he tracks her down. Now, true, it's in her professional capacity, but he tracks
Mhm.
her down, and she was like, yes, he's here. The dream team is here. Ooh, yes. The dream team is here. So anyway, Josh shows up. Oh goodness. Josh shows up, and what do you think about their first meeting?
I'm gonna let Jackie go first.
I was I don't I, I wanted him to, I guess I wanted him to say, I know it's you. You know, you
Me
are the
too.
person. I expected it. I was like, oh, please, come on. Find
Me
her
too.
handwriting on something and, just recognize it. But no, that's not what happened.
No.
Um, but I anticipated, something happening between them, especially, after when she went into complete professional mode. Once she realized why he was there, and she went into complete
Yeah.
professional mode, and then just started drilling him down about with the questions about why he wanted to do this, and why this,
Mhm.
and how could you do that, or would you do this, and all of that, and then his reaction to her questioning his motives. Yeah, that.
Mm. That was something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. So, Mrs. Theodore Taylor, you threw me for a loop because I really thought once they got in the same room, it was gonna be pop, pop on like popcorn. That is not what happened. Josh messed it
He
all
strung
up.
us along a little more.
Yeah, she said he couldn't handle it.
Alicia's killing me.
Yes, couldn't handle it. Had to go outside with an axe, chop some wood, calm down.
He went
The
into ice
accent
block
she
mode. He
did
was
not say,
chopping
by the
wood.
way.
Yeah,
Okay, the double entendres in this story are crazy. She wishing him a hot coat. Did he have hot cocoa for Christmas? Number one. Number two, ice block going into like lumberjack mode. He just
yes,
he chopping wood, y'all. He is chopping wood
a whole book.
before he starts laying wood. He is chopping wood.
Yes, he is. Mm, mm. And I was like watching him from the window. I was standing there with Nisha, and I was like, look at him chopping that wood.
Okay,
Oh my God, look at
okay,
his
so this
muscle
is so
set.
crazy. Did you not have moments where you were thinking about, is it that Virgin River Christmas story when Ian is out there chopping and Marcy's inside just looking at outside the window like, oh,
I
look at
know.
that, look at that.
I
That's where my
was.
brain went.
I was peering out the window. I'm like,
Oh
oh
my
my
god,
God.
Alicia's killing me. She said he had a tantrum. Yes, honey. Yes. Yes, girl. Almost froze to death being dumb.
Yeah. She said being dumb. He had a mantrum. Yes, he did. Oh my gosh. So he came back in and he's thinking, okay,
Wait,
I'm
no,
leaving.
no, 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 wait.
Okay.
Rewind a little bit. Before he came back in, she's like, could you stop
Um,
chopping long enough to not
yeah,
chop me again while I take some of this wood inside?
she was like, here we go. Excuse
Right.
me.
I need to
Could
get
you
some of this wood inside.
could you put the axe down, please, sir? Could you
Yeah.
back away
First
from
of all,
the
a man came into your house and then grabbed the axe and walked out. I'm like, lock the door. Lock
her what he was
Man
doing.
who was in your
He
That's
house.
told
true.
her that
Thank
she
you,
needed more
Jackie.
wood for the fire. He was taking care of her, being the gentleman that he is.
You don't know him like that.
They knew each other from childhood. I mean, yeah, it was that one
He
time,
even
but you know what I'm
said,
saying.
yeah, yeah, he even said, "Do you remember me?"
It's,
Locks on
yes,
the door.
I know.
All
And she had
authority.
that. I'm going way back, y'all. I'm dating
Lock
myself. She
the
had that
door and
Lionel Richie
call
moment.
the
That
authority.
hello, is it me you're looking for?
I'm sorry. When a man gets auto flustered, grabs the axe, I'm go chop wood. I'm locking the door. Not when you get back. I'm gonna decide whether or not to let you back in.
Yes, yes.
And I've already called for help.
Okay. And then, like what always happens at Christmas, except here in Florida, the snow blew in and they had to
Or in
stay.
Well,
Southern
it's 50
California,
degrees in
we don't
Maryland,
get.
so
Oh no, Michelle is her animal spirit. What?
Aisha, I'm with you, girl. We gotta have sense about these things.
Anyway, so the snow blew in and they have to stay.
One bed, y'all, one bed, and one
Yeah.
chair.
One
One
chair,
bed, one chair,
one chair.
okay, and one bathroom. And he
And he
come out
come
and
out naked,
he's not even cold. Because he been
practically.
chopping wood. He been
Yeah,
Mhm.
chopping
yeah,
wood.
yeah. You could
He
just
been laying
almost feel the
low.
heat. Okay, here's where he got my attention all the way. You could just
Okay.
feel the heat emanating off of him. And it wasn't
Yes.
even like that heat that wake you up in the middle of the night because you're going through stuff. This was like
Yes.
that real heat. Like he just walked out like
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep you all kinds of warm.
Yes. And then he said he could sleep on the floor, but do you mind if I crawl in the bed with you?
Like anybody ever said no to him? Come
I know.
on. Come
And
on.
then she felt his sausage between her buns.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
And then when he
Oh,
said it's
man.
been a while, like, okay. So the minute,
Oh,
so
his
from the
big man.
time you stepped out of the bathroom, turned off the light, and and climbed into bed, it's been a while. Okay,
Yeah.
No, first of all,
okay.
can
It
we
was
talk
like
about the
that
fact?
instant, and that's why I was kind of shocked that he didn't know it was her. I mean, he had that just like with the very first Christmas card, and he had that instant reaction. The minute
Yes,
he climbs into bed with her, he has that instant reaction. So I'm like,
he
how could
does.
you not say, "Hey, I know it's you. I know you're my secret admirer."
I know, but there was a part of me questioning. I'm like, when they met in the cabin, I was like, was
Mm.
he expecting a different response? Like, was he expecting her to be bolder and go, "You're here, it's me," and didn't get that? Like, and that's what threw him off. I wasn't sure because I thought, and this is what Theodora is playing with us, and I appreciate that because we didn't know what was going to happen because what I thought would happen didn't happen. So I'm like,
Mhm.
maybe she threw him off with that initial response. And so he's like, well, I thought it was her, but maybe it's not her, but she's still hot. And I got my sausage and she got the buns. And I don't know. All right, Michelle. Michelle's not convinced. Hi, Naomi.
You remember? Okay, I don't think you. ca- You ever meet somebody and for a moment you're like, this gentleman might be proof that common sense isn't common? That's how I felt about him in that moment. Because I was like, you think it might be her. And you don't say, have I, have we, have, did you send me a Christmas card? I mean, there was that opening where you could have been like, you didn't by chance send me a Christmas card. And give her that moment to like react. And granted, I'm not one of those people who sits back and waits for
Yeah.
that moment. But he took so many other steps forward that I was just left with the if you're taking this many steps forward, you crossed the line. Tell me that you know, like, acknowledge that you're going to cross the line and ask all the questions. Leave nothing on the table. You know, as I said, I had a time where I had this guy I really liked, and I said to him, I said, I really like you. And he's like, well, my girlfriend's about to come over. And I was like, oh, I should go. But you know what? Because I told him I liked him, he broke up with her, and we actually like dated for like 3 years because he's like, I didn't know you liked me too. And I don't know. These two people should be very smart. They've gone to very good schools. They've gone to better schools than I have. They have taken risks. This man has risked his life for his country and his father. Somebody
But
done read his mail in his house and he didn't murder anybody. Ask the girl the question. Did you send me the Christmas card? And for her, he has shown up at your door. He says, I'd like to talk to you. This would be the moment to say, oh my God, I can't
okay.
believe you're here. I've sent you Christmas cards for 12 years. I'm still stuck on that. I'm sorry.
But
I'm very
love is
stuck
a
there.
She's
logical.
shy. She's shy. I get it.
Honey,
That's
she
I'm like,
let him
that's
land his
me.
sausage in her buns. She not shy. It's an
Hey,
act.
It's
you
been a
don't have to
while.
be shy. She's not shy in the bed or between the sheets. How about that? But
How about that?
hey, yeah,
Like once you get there, she know what to do.
exactly.
There is that. There is that. So, all right, y'all, we got like 9 minutes left. And I know.
Wow.
Did I tell y'all this was an anthology? So all these stories are related, and we're just talking about one for the
Mm.
hour. So there
Oh,
is many hours of enjoyment with Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. Oh,
Okay, so I read about five of them and I'm still reading and I can't wait to get through all of them. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was reading and taking all kinds of notes for the different stories.
you're so good. Okay, so let's wrap up with Josh and
Mm-hmm.
Tanisha. So
Mm-hmm.
guess what? She has to make a grand gesture because guess what, y'all? It did not. The cabin came to an end. The scene in the cabin came to an end. I'm not gonna even tell you what happened with her mama. I'm just gonna jump on to the
Yeah,
grand gesture.
that was a little crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And the
did
mama
y'all
showed up. Yeah.
about the grand gesture that Tanisha had to make?
I'm gonna let Jackie go
I
first.
I said bravo. I was proud of her. She put on her big girl panties and did what she had to do. So I was proud of her. Very proud of her. It took 12 years, but she found the courage. So you give her kudos, Michelle. It took her 12 years, but she did what she had to do. She finally said enough is enough, not just with um, being behind the scenes or being shy about expressing her feelings for this man, but also with her interaction with her adoptive mom. Like, just really put her in her place
Yeah.
because I like the fact that she took her by the elbow, guided her out the door, across the threshold,
That
and
lady
told her,
crazy.
I will see you on December 26th, and closed the door and locked it. Like,
Yes.
that to me, that lock was significant. I'm
Yeah.
locking you out of my life. Goodbye.
Yeah. And you know what I thought was interesting about that is her adopted mom acknowledges that she was a crap parent. And she said, but you never said anything. So I thought you were okay with what you're getting. This is where I thought Theodora went deep in just saying that because so often
We don't say what
people
we
think,
want.
right, people think if you don't say anything that you're accepting of whatever it is they're giving you.
You kind of are.
And it's not true. And it wasn't true in her case. And I and I agree with you, Michelle. It is something that um Tanisha had discovered her words, but she needed to discover her voice. She
Hmm.
Yes.
I like
needed
that.
to discover
I
her
like that.
voice.
Hmm.
She needed
Hmm.
to be able to tell people how she felt and what she wanted from the world. And she could do it for her clients. She could do it for her candidates. She could get to the essence of who they were and what they brought to the table and what they could provide for their fellow countrymen. But she could not do it for herself. And
So
yes,
for
I'm
this grand gesture, and I mean, all I'll say is that, and if you weren't here at the beginning, all of these stories are related, and they all end up at a charity ball run by the Morelli family.
mhm.
Now, I appreciated this young lady's grand gesture. Upon reading more of those stories, she'd been murdered before she got to him. That's all I'm gonna say. She wouldn't have made it. Them 12 years were gonna be for naught. Because anybody else who had walked in, first of all,
Now she want to murder her.
I'm just telling
I
you
know. She
that
had on
if
her
you or
chucks, so she
I
knew she
had
was gonna
picked
have to
ourselves
run.
up and walked into this Morelli party, they got security. This is an underworld family party. You talking about, I'm gonna walk in and drop off a speech. No, dear, those 12 years were for naught. I'm just
Okay.
glad Theodora gave you an extra chance. This was like Scrooge the night after the three ghosts came. He got lucky. She got lucky. She got lucky. That's all.
Well, she did wear her tennis shoes with her dress in case she needed to run.
And they might have had to bury her in them. I'm like, girl. And then you go, I can y'all need to read the story. I can't wait to hear what y'all think. Because I was like,
Yes, yes,
Tanisha,
yes. Y'all need
Tanisha,
to come on the Women on Words page. If you have not read
Tanisha.
Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, Theodora Taylor's This Christmas, come on to this podcast on the Women on Words page and drop your comments because some of y'all are laughing right along with us. Now,
Police report that
yes,
political speechwriter Tanisha Winters found dead with her running shoes on. That's the way the story would have ended. She showed up at a Morelli party talking about I'm a Russian past security.
yeah.
Girl, stop it.
Uh,
Stop it.
and okay, and Shelby, I'm not gonna even tell y'all. So there's stuff I know we talking a lot, y'all, but there's stuff we aren't telling you because when you read
Yeah.
what Shelby has done and
Yeah.
what she's trying to perpetrate, you'll see why I said she need to be stomped by all eight of Sanders' reindeer. He
But
had eight.
that's, you know what? She's proof of why you don't wait 12 years to tell somebody that you've been sending them
Okay, I'll
notes.
give you that. I'll give you that.
You
I'll
like,
give you that. Yes, yes, I agree. Yeah, because somebody else was trying to sign their name across his heart. I give you that. And
yeah.
he might have been crazy enough to fall for it if she hadn't done what she did.
I'm gonna
So,
need to read their whole story because I got so many questions about these two.
yes, I'll tell you, Theodora,
I
I
hope the
actually
children are
wanted a
smart.
longer story.
I
I
hope the
wanted
kids are smart.
a longer story. I wanted to see what happened after the grand gesture. I wanted to hear oh goodness, she said crazy or stupid.
I
Oh
hope
my
the kids are smart.
goodness. Okay. All right. All right. We have some differences of opinion on this particular couple. I'll just say that. Jackie, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Because what are we reading next
Next
month?
one.
Okay, so the book that I chose for next month is a gothic romance, and it's
Ooh.
by Anna Taylor, and it's called.
Okay.
Can you see it? Wait a minute. I know there's a
Yeah.
glare. It's called Haunted Serenade by Anna M. Taylor.
Anna M.
Haunted
Taylor. Let me see
Serenade.
if I can
Okay.
find that.
Yeah.
Drop the
Anna,
link in the show so the folks will know.
okay.
Ooh.
Anna M. Taylor. Let me see.
Anna
Mm-hmm.
M. Taylor. Yes. And it's
Okay,
a
and it's
short
called.
read,
Okay.
Haunted Serenade.
Hmm.
Oh, I like that. I like the
Mm-hmm.
title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna be able to read this. It's not too scary, right? I live alone.
Oh,
No, it's not scary. It's not scary. And it's a short read. It's like 80 pages.
yes. And it's called Haunted Harlem.
It's a
No,
haunted Harlem series or something.
that is the sequel. The first one is
Oh,
Haunted Serenade. There are two books in the series. So Haunted
okay.
Serenade is the first one.
Okay. I am going to put the link because it's in Kindle Unlimited, looks like, y'all, which is great. It looks like it's a
Hmm.
Kindle Unlimited read. And yeah, I am gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it here.
Okay.
Cause yeah, I'm liking this. Haunted
It's not scary.
Serenade.
Hmm. I don't do
And
scary
I
things
haven't
much
read
though.
Anna
But
yet by Anna M. Taylor.
Tay.
And thank you. I'm gonna say thank you now for picking a short read for the new year because I know how crazy the holidays can be. And we all have long holiday to be read piles. So starting off the new year,
Did
uh,
we now?
yeah, I think this is going to be great. All right. So, all right. And of course, the computer picked right now to act crazy, but we're going to see if
Okay.
it goes through. So, I want to thank everyone for joining us today for
And
Women
this
of Work.
year,
Yes, yes. All through the year, y'all have been here with us the third Sunday of each month for book chat. And we're going to try something new in 2021. We're going to try and go live on Clubhouse while we're still, no, 2022, right?
Two.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't know.
2022.
What day of the week is it?
Yes, the third Sunday of the month, we're going to try and
It is
not
the
only be right here in front of our screens, but also be on Clubhouse. So that gives you a chance to hear us, see us, pick your venue, and still comment so we can hear each other and then do the chat. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to
Merry
each and
Christmas,
every
Happy
one of
New
you
Year.
all. Yes, to
Happy
my
New Year.
ladies, Michelle and Jackie, thank you so much for being here with us. And to Arthur L. Loren, who took a little bit of a break, but these ladies stepped in and filled in, they filled the gap, and we're going to keep going in 2022. So happy holidays, and we will be seeing you next year. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Bye.